Hey there everybody, Brian King here. Today I'm working off Mr. iPhone because Facebook is being really funky and I don't know why. Well, yesterday you tuned in and you heard me tell my story again because a lot of you really didn't know who I am. You just knew what I posted. And there was always that question, hey Brian, what do you do? Where do you get all this stuff? I mean, there are some people that don't even know I have a website because I'm so warm and fuzzy on Facebook that that's really the only place people need to see me. So I wanted to give you a little background on what I do and how it's really helped people over the years. So first and foremost, I'm a resilience warrior, or an adversity coach, however you want to refer to it. But I'm a master of overcoming problems. And what I do is I train my clients how to become resilience warriors too. Now, if you're a resilience warrior, how do you know it? Well, this is a handy definition I came up with for you. A resilience warrior is someone with the mindset, character, and strategies to confront and transform any challenge life throws at you and change it into strength. Because a lot of us think of adversity as something you need to overcome, something you need to toughen up and resist and push against. I think of it as something that you need to take and incorporate and use some kind of internal alchemy to transform it into something powerful. That's what I train people to do. And I do that every single day. And when it comes to adversity, it's anything that you really think is holding you back, something that's preventing you from having or creating what it is you want. So let me give you some examples of how I've worked with this over the years. There's one young man that I work with, let's call him John. Very, very shy, very introverted, on the autism spectrum. He was a young man that was in his third year of high school and had no friends. His confidence was so low, he was afraid to even respond when someone said hello to him. So after a while, people just stopped talking to him. Well, in his junior year, or right before it, it occurred to him that, hey man, I'm lonely. I want to reverse this trend. I want to have some friends. So I worked with John all through that school year, and here's what happened for him. By the end of the school year, he had a prom date. He was talking to friends every single day. People were inviting him over to their house to hang out. And he was even hosting pizza parties where they watched sporting events together. That all happened in a school year. Because it began with the understanding that what was really holding John back was John. He had a whole bunch of beliefs about what he could and couldn't do. He had fears about how people were going to respond to him. He had fears about what he was going to be worth if he failed. So we dug deep and helped him discover the things that were working against him, the things he was using to work against himself, and we replaced those beliefs with beliefs that were more empowering. Things that really compelled him to take action, to feel confident, to crave results and feedback. And man, this boy blew my mind because he really took it seriously. He took what I told him and he did it and he got the results he wanted. But that's just one example. There's another one of a mom that I worked with, and let's call her Donna. She has a son on the autism spectrum and she has some other kids too. And her son was really big on blaming other people, especially her. If he couldn't find his shoes in the morning, if he forgot to do his homework, if he just wasn't in a mood that day, it was her fault. And he would say some of the meanest things to her. And her self-worth was devastated. She felt like she was the worst mom in the world. She saw how her other kids suffered because her son was so verbally abusive. She felt powerless to turn things around. So again, we looked at what's really stopping her. One of the things that was stopping her is the belief that she was helpless, that she had no power. So we began giving her some empowering beliefs, teaching her some new habits, some things that she could do to reclaim her power. By the time her and I were done working, she was modeling for her children what it meant to be calm and attentive at the dinner table. The kids went from kicking each other under the table and getting into screaming matches to sitting quietly and asking each other about their day and being supportive. She went from dreading the morning routine to things going smoothly the kids being proactive and getting out the door without drama. And her self-confidence just went through the roof. She was showing up at IEP meetings more empowered, more in charge. And by the time we were done together, her son was being more proactive. He wasn't playing the victim anymore. He was taking risks in the classroom, and when people were offering him help, he was confidently saying, I got this. No, I want to try this new thing. He'd found his confidence too. That's some of the most beautiful results that I see. And it all comes back to resilience. Is how do you perceive the events of your life? Do you perceive them as these forces that are holding you hostage or working against you or holding you back? Or do you perceive them as things that you can transform into strength, into opportunities? That's what I've taught these folks. I'll give you one last example. Let's call him Tim. He's an attorney. He had his own firm. He was very successful in his own right, but his firm was in chaos. People weren't keeping up with their paperwork. Invoices weren't getting sent out. Invoices weren't getting paid. Partners, were arguing with each other, and he just kind of saw it as a free-for-all, and he had no idea what to do, and it was his firm. It didn't occur to him that he could set the rules, the expectations for how they were going to behave towards each other, for what they were going to be about, what their group philosophy was. They were just kind of operating as they were a bunch of independents sharing an office space when they needed to be a team. So the first thing we needed to get past was his limiting belief that, well, I can't do that because who am I? Or I can't do that because what if they're mad at me? He had to realize that there was something more important, the clients. And if they didn't work together, it showed in how their clients experienced the firm. So by the end of he and I working together, he had what you call processes, procedures written down of how they do things, so everybody did the same thing the same way. And he received so many thank yous for that, because there were a lot of staff that wanted that from him, but they didn't ask him because they were kind of afraid that he would take it as a criticism. So they were kind of making it up as they went, and they were inconsistent. So immediately the paperwork got in order, things got sent out, bills start getting paid, and some of the egotistical other attorneys got their attitudes put in check because they were reminded that it's not a competition. It's a cooperation. It's a family. We're in it together. We support one another. This is our firm. These are our clients. An order was suddenly discovered within that firm, and he was able to relax and sit back in awe and confidence, knowing that things were going to get taken care of. And those are just 3 people. I've worked with hundreds of people over the years. I've helped them all become warriors of resilience, and the war begins right here. You're constantly in battle over those old beliefs, those fears, those things that keep you standing in your own way. That's where the villain is, folks. It's not out here somewhere. Maybe you're attributing it to something outside yourself, but the conversation starts inside. You have so much more strength than you realize. You are more powerful than you've ever given yourself credit for. But as soon as that chatter starts, and you start cutting your own legs off, you feel like you're helpless. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I create warriors. And hopefully the things that I share with you each day here are helping you chip away at those little battles that are going on between your ears. In fact, I got one that I want to share with you. I shared it in my first video yesterday, but I want to make sure you get it. It's a video that I recorded called Overcoming Fear. I put a link in the description, so go ahead and click on that and get your hands and your eyes on that one, because it's a very straightforward strategy and it can really blow the doors open for you. So go watch it and enjoy it. If you like this video, go ahead and share it with other people. I'm sure they'll appreciate it too. And stay tuned, because tomorrow I'm coming back with another video. This has been Brian. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk again soon.